Hear the Grizzlies coming. They're coming around the bend. And I ain't seen the Lakers since maybe last week, but we play a game tonight. Yeah, I like this. Welcome to the Daily Ride. I am your host, Luke Hadmaker, and I got Uncle Buck with me, fresh off the college football ranking show you did last night, brother. How are you?
Good. A little tired, but hey, that was a lot of fun. We're going to do that every single Tuesday. I'm just going to go live after the college football rankings come out and enjoyed just people getting in the comments. Had a couple guests just hop on and had DG and Kenny hop on. And so we're going to actually plan it out, let everybody know a little bit ahead of time for next time instead of just at the drop of a hat. So y'all come hang out with us if you like college football.
Heck yeah. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I was like, wow, it's late for Uncle Buck, but it was you still got it, dude. It don't matter what time of day. Uncle Buck has it. I love it.
Listen, don't underestimate me after an Ole Miss win. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done got excited again. And if we lose in 2 weeks to Florida, you may never hear from me again. I mean, it's just kind of how I roll.
I appreciate your honesty. We're gonna have another late night tonight if you're a Grizzlies fan, because the Grizzlies play the Lakers, and unlike last week, we are on West Coast time tonight. So it's what, a 9 p.m. start time for us Central Time, people. That's God. We sound so old and so fuddy-duddy. That's so late because that game's wrapping up. If you're lucky, that game is 11:30.
It's so late, and the thing is what I hope for pretty much every game is a Grizzlies blowout.
Yes.
But if we're going to lose to the Lakers, I hope it is disgusting. Like, I want to do not make me sit through overtime and lose on these West Coast games. Like, dude, there is no more miserable feeling in the world than to be up at midnight and an overtime game against the Lakers and lose.
Honestly, don't make me stay awake for a second half where I gotta watch. Like if we could just wrap this up by halftime, like you said.
Like, I want to see Yuki at the start of the third quarter if we're going to lose one way or the other. Like,
that would be awesome. There is a little bit of good news. I mean, good news. I don't know how. Good news for the
Grizzlies. It's good news. Yeah.
Yeah. Grizzlies, there's good news. We're getting some guys. Well, Marcus Smart was upgraded to questionable. That's one he'll play. Vince Williams Jr. was upgraded to doubtful. I don't expect to see him, but that looks good for this weekend.
Yeah, just kind of getting some rotation guys back. Listen, the Grizzlies kind of always follow the same formula, and when they start ramping people up, is they'll go doubtful and they will not play, and then they'll go questionable, and then most time once they hit questionable, they'll play the next game. And I'm sure a lot of that depends on like how you're feeling during warm-ups and stuff. But it's good to see guys get back. I fully expect Marcus Smart to play tonight. And the most interesting thing is just kind of what the starting lineup looks like, because there was, I mean, Jalen Wells has made an absolute statement. And going into this season, a lot of people that don't matter, like me and you, and like media personalities, kind of wondered if Marcus Smart would stick in the starting lineup. And we were all thinking like it would be Vince Williams or, maybe Luke Kennard, to give you another shooter opposite Desmond Bane. But Jalen Wells has been so good in that starting lineup and just in general that I wonder what that looks like. Like, will Marcus Smart come off the bench tonight and call it ramping up? But if he's not immediately put into the starting lineup tonight and he's playing, like I'm thinking that there's legitimate talks going on in that coaching staff over where he fits best coming off the bench or in the starting lineup.
I mean, that's an awesome point. One that I'd kind of forgotten about. Amidst all the talk of Marcus coming back, it's like, oh yeah, I guess Jalen kind of has been taking that. That's who's been starting amazing for him. He's been starting for him. I don't know. Do you move Santi back to the bench? I mean, he's been playing that 3 for us. I mean, Brandon Clark's also out tonight, or I guess he's questionable. I don't know if he's going to play.
Questionable,
Tonight, there might be some interesting rotations we see tonight. Like lineups might be thrown out there that we. I'm going to throw this up here from Wayno. I got distracted. I feel like he's kind of earned it. I mean,
yeah, but Marcus is that vet. Now, he did come off the bench and he took that role happily at Boston. And so it's something that he's done before.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, he kind of came in to be the heart and soul of this team. And so I don't really I want to say that the coaching staff wants Marcus Smart in the starting lineup if it makes and they hope it makes the most sense. But if it's a 50-50 call, Marcus Smart I think will be the starting shooting guard, especially kind of pairing him next to a Scottie Pippen Jr., who's kind of small, but
yeah,
I want to see him come. I want to see Brandon Clark and Jalen Wells in the starting lineup, and Marcus Smart and Zach Edey being the first two off the bench. I think that goes well together.
I mean, it certainly sounds good. Like, I mean, it sounds like in theory that should be a recipe for doing. I mean, against this Lakers team too, which has size. We got to remember they have size, and AD. It looks like AD is going to be playing tonight. Like, if you can have Edey and Smart who can play bigger. Like, if you can have those guys coming off the bench and you still got Jaren on, like, starting, like,
right.
That might just be the best recipe for a win, you know, not like maybe not just tonight, but like, I mean, definitely tonight. I mean, you're talking about moving forward, but like tonight, it almost seems like you need Marcus and Edey coming off the bench to win, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky because I don't really know where they say it's matchup dependent.
Yes.
But you had a big lug. You played up against a big lug in Portland when they started DeAndre Ayton, and which I would think would be a perfect Edey start. But instead, they let him come off the bench, probably to pair him up with Klingon. Just because he dominates Klingon. And so the backup bigs for Los Angeles, I don't know who that is. I mean, it was
I know Christian Wood's out. I don't think he's starting.
Yeah, Koloko.
It's probably
Koloko was the guy, and that was like their number 2 bench big. And so, I don't know. Honestly, you start whoever is most likely to hamper Anthony Davis.
Yes,
that's just what it is. If you want to me, you look at it like you've got 5 fouls on Anthony Davis with Zach Edey, just hit him 5 times hard, use your fouls only on Anthony Davis. Then you've got Jaren there as well.
Yeah, because it's going to be, shout out Wayno, it's going to be a different Lakers game with Davis back.
Is.
I mean, it's when he plays, right now when he is playing, he's like this season, he's been one of the most dominant players.
Yes.
Period. So it's going to be a different game. I love when we played the Lakers. Like, you want to talk about, like, hell, even last week when they didn't have Anthony Davis, these games have a level of intensity to them that are really fun to watch. Like, there doesn't seem like there's many rivalries left in the league anymore, but the Grizzlies and Lakers feel like that's one that is.
They definitely feel like it. Yeah.
They hate each other.
They feel like, especially on the Grizzlies side of it.
Yeah.
They really don't like the Lakers. And I love that. Like, I love smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I feel like in sports and with all the money that's going around and how quickly players change teams, you lose a lot of that hatred for a team. And like a lot of they do the jersey swaps afterwards and they chum it up on the court. And I really just love to see a team that hates another team.
Yeah.
Just like I hope that Ja Morant forever just hates purple and gold.
I mean, it's pretty awesome when Scottie Pippen Jr. is giving a post-game interview and then Desmond Bane, within earshot of LeBron James, come up behind him and say, "You still have ball from that old man." It's just like it's awesome.
Yeah, that's abs. And I mean, he did it right in front on a TV broadcast. Like, they're not hiding it. That's for sure. Nope. Ja Morant in the locker room says, "I don't like them." So I mean, there's no gray area here. They're not inferring anything. They are just flat out saying it. And I love that. And it's part of the 2 years ago Grizzlies that I loved. It was like, it was us against everybody. And that's kind of, that comes from Ja, because that's how Ja is, just as a rule, as a person. And so I love being that team that's just like, nah, you know, we have fun with our friends, but this is work and we don't like you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. When we show up to work, we're here to work. Like
Right.
I love it. I love it. I liked it. It's an adult, it's a mature mentality that they brought to the table this season. I really enjoy it. One more point on this game. Shout out Wayno. Wayno's he's out hopping in, giving us some good.
Listen, everybody in the U.S. is still waking up. Wayno's been doing this all day. He's sharp.
He's been up all day. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, it's like I think if it comes down to bench production, there's none. I mean, this Lakers team does not have much in the way of depth. I mean, especially quality depth, I would say. Whereas you got Jay Huff. If ED comes off the bench, like Marcus Smart, who we're talking about coming off the bench, and that's before we even get to Luke Kennard and oh gosh, there's someone I'm blatantly missing. Jake. Jake. I mean, Jake who's been playing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, who's been playing out of his mind. It's just if it comes down to second unit versus second unit, I feel confident about that.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what Dalton Connect looks like at home because he was building houses in FedEx Forum with all the bricks that he was shooting.
Bad, man.
And Austin Reeves was not good either. And so those guys typically role players play better at home, the old adage, and so I'm curious to see what that looks like. But let's be honest, no one outside of LeBron James played basketball well against the Grizzlies in FedEx Forum last week.
Yeah, he got nothing.
Yeah, LeBron had 37 and somehow was a minus 21 because everybody else was just terrible, including D'Lo. D'Lo. Yeah, just getting at D'Angelo Russell, just getting benched,
I love to see that. I don't know. There's certain players that
he's such a losing basketball player, and he always has been.
You well said. I don't want to say anything. They're not worth spending more time on it. I would have transitioned to, if we are just looking at this game head to head, let's look at where the Grizzlies sit. With every team, I don't know what this gesture is. Every team has played at least I would say anywhere between 10, 12 games now, at least 9 to 12.
Yeah, I remember it was so weird when we played the Wizards. They'd only played like 7 games, and the Grizzlies played like 10. So it's somewhere. I think everybody's played 10 at this point.
You're looking at, let's say, let's say 10 out of 82. It's an math.
Yeah,
an eighth.
It's an eighth.
An eighth to a 10th of the season is already done.
Uh-huh. Right.
That's nothing to sniff at. Like if you have a little pie chart and you take out a pie, if you have a piece of pizza and there's 10 slices and you take out 1 slice, there's not that much pizza left. Simple math, y'all.
Pizzas are cut into 8 slices.
God, I want pizza now. What do we do?
You have eaten 1 piece of this 2024-25 season pizza.
Think about it. God, what's wrong with me? But I just want to see, take that slice out. What's that slice of pizza look like? I got to quit this metaphor. What do we look like? What does the Grizzlies look like? Where are we sitting right now? I just want to go through with you some of the stats, right? Stats.
Please.
Let's see where we sit.
I love numbers.
Numbers. Speaking of math. So currently the Grizzlies are averaging 120.9 points per game, which is 3rd in the league.
That's great.
Great. We are averaging, where'd it go? Field goal percentage, 3rd in the league with 49.3.
That's great.
Yep. 3-point percentage dips a little bit. We're 14th. We're still in the upper half. And one thing that's awesome, we're not attempting the most. That was one thing in past seasons that's been so frustrating, is we would be first in attempts, last in percentage. And that's right. What are you doing here? Not the case. We're attempting, we're right in the middle of the league in both, which room to grow.
That's great. I love that though.
Yes.
Because you've got the setup to be good and have in other areas, and you're not solely relying on the threes. And so if you shoot middle of the pack in threes in percentage, you're going to be a very good team.
Yes, and that's with Dez out. That's with a lot of guys that shoot the ball.
Luke Kennard just showed up.
Yep. Yeah. It's awesome. Another free throw percentage. Tell you what, it doesn't matter because we're not in last, and that's all that I care about.
What are we, 29th?
No, we are 17th, dude. Do you remember last time we were 17th
free
in
throw
free throw
shooting
percentage?
is down.
Yeah, it's
league
down.
wide. Then
yeah,
that's the Grizzlies do not and never have shot free throws well.
No, yeah, like how many teams in the league? There are only seven teams shooting over 80% from the line right now. No, that's
I know I'm not. I should not be qualified to give takes to these supremely athletic people, but I'll never understand how you don't shoot 80% from a free throw line.
I agree with you. I just know that like I could go pick up a basketball right now and go out to the hoop in our backyard and probably make 8 of my 10 free throws. You know, like it's
yeah. I mean, as somebody coming off my couch, I feel like I can make 5 to 7. And
yeah.
I know listen, you're professionals at this.
Yes,
yes. And it's the only shot you can take that they can't guard you. I'll never understand it.
I'm with you. We don't have to, we won't belabor that point because I'm with you. And we are not athletes, but I'm with you. Rebounds. We are averaging 47.9 rebounds per game, which is 3rd in the league.
That's great. Yeah.
Yep. Great. Assist, 30.4, 2nd in the league. We're only 1st is Denver, and there's probably one dude averaging all those assists, so I don't really count them. Steals, we're about middle in the pack, 15 in steals. Blocks, we are 2nd, only behind OKC, who just lost Chet. That'll go up.
That'll probably flip then.
Yep. And that's just your regular stuff. An offensive rating, if I can get my computer to work. Yeah, an offensive rating, we're 7th. Defensive rating, we're 5th. I mean, we're 5th in net rating. Like, true shooting percentage, we're 7th. Effective field goal percentage, we are 7th. Player impact estimate, 1st. Like, we're just, and this is all with Ja, with Dez, with Vince, with Gigi. Right. This is with guys missing time. The whole point of this is just pretty good.
Yeah. There's a stat, and this is not 100% correct, but it's something along the lines of a team has never won an NBA championship that hasn't been top 10 in offense and defensive net rating. I believe that's the stat. It's top 10 or maybe it's top 5 or something like that. But, so yeah, the fact that we're in top 10 in both of them, I mean, 7 and 5 and without our guys. And so there's going to be some touch and go. This is an 82 game season. We started and we were furious as fans. We are now riding high with half of our starting lineup out. And we kind of put it together on a 3-game winning streak and 3 blowout wins. And so we're riding a little high right now, but as we start getting these guys back, we're just going to have to remember who the philosophy of this coaching staff. And it's going to be weird for a minute as you get these guys back, because I can tell you, as good as Jake LaRavia has been playing, if we're fully staffed, he probably doesn't need to be playing so that you can have a 9-man rotation, which is what has been the key, in my opinion, to looking better on the offensive end. And so, and our coaching staff is not going to want to do that.
Yeah. It's oddly enough, these next 2 games, the 2 games that we have this week against the Lakers tonight and Golden State on Friday, which is a NBA Cup game, those are 2 we might actually, like, the blowout wins, since Halloween, it's kind of been, I don't want to say easy going, but there were a couple teams that we expected to be bad or expected to be good that were bad in that stretch. So we got a little lucky. I mean, lucky, knock on wood. I will take a win's a win. I don't want to throw luck in there, but
right.
The Lakers at home, who we always play like tough.
Yeah.
And it's in LA. And so, they're just replace one of the starters with a ref because they'll get every call they want, and then to play Golden State at home, and Golden State looks good. I'm so confused.
No, Golden State looks amazing.
It's really bizarre. I don't know. I don't know if it's sustainable. I don't know, but
we talked about this. I believe it's yesterday, where it's just like, listen, we expected Golden State to be the team in our pool that would take a dip down, but they have not. They beat Klay Thompson, and the Dallas Mavericks came for his return to Oracle Arena last night and Steph Curry went on a 10-0 run to end it, and just pure Steph Curry night fashion.
Yep.
And just reminding everybody that he's still amazing. He went for 30-something. Hield has been absolutely amazing. D'Anthony Melton in the starting lineup makes me feel like just knots in my stomach.
The pictures of him, pictures of him. I've seen all these photos going around of him standing behind Steph, who's looking all, and then behind him, D'Anthony's just smiling, looking just so happy. It upsets me to my core.
Yeah. And Kyle Anderson's hurt, so he didn't play last night. But down the road, when they bring in a bench unit of D'Anthony Melton and Kyle Anderson, like, it's going to really hurt because of all of the role players that the Grizzlies have cycled through over the last 10 years. They're probably my two favorite to this day.
Yep. Slow-mo to this day is one of my all-time favorite Grizzlies. I loved what he did. I love both those guys. You know, I
hated to see both of them walk. And to make things worse, just the front office has done a lot of things extremely well. We've praised their second round draft options, you know, with Jalen Wells and with Vince Williams and their development in the G League. But they did trade away D'Anthony Melton to draft David Roddy. And that is just a massive kick to the nards.
Didn't think we were going to talk about David Roddy today, so we're not going to. We're just going to pass by that. Yeah,
I've got a jersey downstairs. My wife loved David Roddy, and so
you got a Roddy jersey. It's awesome.
They went on sale after his rookie season. It's the Roddy 27, and then to start his sophomore season, he changed his number to 21 when Tyus left. So she never wore her Roddy jersey with the correct number while he had the same numbers.
Wait, that's hilarious.
When we went to the home opener, she wore her David Roddy jersey because she never had a chance to wear it.
I love that so much. Shout out your wife. That's great.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. But before we do, I just want to, we're in a good spot. This time last year, I think that if you would have said we were missing our guys, who we were trotting out there, I don't know if we would have been this high in these rankings. You know, we've got some legitimate hoopers on this roster, top to bottom.
The depth has been absolutely amazing. We're 7-4 through 11, which is a really good pace. And so, you know, I'm optimistic. The depth is great, and you win these games because of depth. That's great. But you got to get your starters back. You got to get your horses back because depth goes away in the playoffs. It doesn't matter in the playoffs. And that is going to be the measuring stick this year.
Yep. Well said, my friend. When we get back, we are going to draft some things because it's draft day, not the movie. And wrote the movie. I'm excited for this one. I think this one, and we're not doing something that you are. I feel like normally when I felt bad during the horror movie draft because you were just like, I don't watch scary movies. I feel good about your chances today. But we will take a quick break and be right back.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got them in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots or just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little better.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter I did peep that. It was like I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all gotta find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's gonna come a stretch of time where they're gonna be stagnant, and at that time, that's when I expect them. Okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I need to figure out, so Kenny said the Night Court just now. I need to figure out if it's Night Court or the Night Court because I look foolish sometimes on here saying the Night Court.
I know that like every day it's the same commercials and sometimes they get a little stale over time. That one will never get stale.
Nope,
talking about Brevin Knight wishing that he could dunk on somebody, like that's the most relatable thing, most relatable topic an NBA player, 18, 19-year NBA vet can have with me. Like we can share the fact that we've never dunked on anybody.
I mean, yeah, it's like the one thing we have in common. It's really great. You can catch that show as well as a bunch of other shows. We've got $2 Sports Show, and both of y'all. We've just got a lot of stuff coming from the $2.
Oh, you need to. That they've been teasing it a lot. You've got to watch Sane's show today. He interviews Jacob Gilliard, last year's part-time backup point guard, and apparently in our group message he says some pretty spicy things. So check out this Anthony Sane show today at noon on Bluff City Media. I'm excited. I always Kyla, my partner Kyla, she loved Jacob Gilliard. She loved when he would come in. She would get so excited. And I was like, I can't get you a Gilliard jersey. There's going to be someone that wears 0 immediately. I can't be doing that. It's too good of a number. Let me tell you something. I think Jacob Gilliard has some beef because for the first time probably in his life, he probably feels like he was taller than what the player that they wanted, because how many times has he been replaced by somebody shorter than him and Yuki?
Oh man, that's a good point. I'm excited. Oh God, I hope they ask height questions. We'll wait. Tune in at noon. Grizz 901 Live. They'll be back tonight. It's going to be late on that show tonight. God love them. I'm assuming that.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to DG.
I won't be there.
He's been talking about his wife had ACL surgery yesterday, and so he's taking care of the kids in the morning and bedtime at night, and trying to help her out, and then he's got a 9:30 tip for a post game show tonight. Dude, nobody call Daniel Greer tomorrow morning. Okay, leave him alone.
Because maybe he can look out and get Nate to do it. Nate's on Mountain Time. I don't know how that works. It's made up anyway, right?
Time zones aren't real.
On that note, we're going to go back to our show. We draft stuff on Wednesdays. We draft a lot of stuff because drafting's fun. It's draft day, not the movie, unless we do draft the movie like you did on Horror Movie Draft, and it crashed my entire brain. I didn't know what to do. It is scary especially if you're Brown. I mean, shout out Brown. Any of my Browns fans, any of my Browns fans out there, thoughts and prayers.
It's a sign of apocalypse. The Browns doing something right,
Jesus. Anyway, today we are drafting war movies, and let's just if you want to, war TV shows as well. I guess I should. I mean, there's one
like Band of Brothers or something.
Exactly.
Like
that's exactly why I included this, because it's one of the obviously.
And we're doing this because of Veterans Day. That was Monday, and everybody I know. My dad's a vet. I've got cousins that are vets. Thank you guys before we even get started here.
Yes,
thank you for your service. It is greatly appreciated in a day and time where it seems like you probably don't get appreciated nearly enough. This show stands up for you.
100%.
We're thankful for you. And in your honor, we're going to draft war movies.
Oh God. We're just going to flip to see who goes first. I didn't know what else to do. Okay. Why do we do this? Why do I invite Chance on this show? I bring
I don't
in
know.
Chance.
I was thinking about this in the break because it's a consistent thing that you lose. By this time I think I would lie if I were you.
I'm a bad liar. You would see that and I would start sweating immediately. I'd be like, you go for you just.
I appreciate your honesty.
I mean, when there's two of us too, I don't know. Anyway, you can go first. Let's not snake draft since
okay. Just bang, 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 bang,
bang, bang, bang, bang, bang. And let's do 3.
Yeah, we'll do 3 unless we've got one left. You know.
Yeah. Okay. You go first.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's obvious. I am a patriot, and so I do tend to go for movies in which the U.S. wins. But there is one movie outside of that is just, in my opinion, greater than them all, and it is William Wallace avenging the death of his wife, and in Braveheart. Braveheart is the greatest war movie of all time. I love it. You get Mel Gibson riding a horse with his face painted blue. You see a bunch of grown dudes in kilts mooning the enemies, the British, and so it's just a great movie.
I think the most daily grind thing about the show that we could have done on a war movie draft honoring the vets was picking a Scottish war movie with an Australian actor as the lead. I love it. It's like, I love that movie too. It was on my board. I'm going to pick Saving Private Ryan.
Great.
I think this is the 1 and 2. It's like, obviously, I know my grandfather was RIP. He was at D-Day and he was on Utah Beach.
Oh,
and I remember that movie was like, he was like, it hit him. I know that first 10 minutes is rough. So I'm going to pick that.
Yeah. So my dad, every Veterans Day, my dad was in the Air Force in peacetime. And so he got out right before Desert Storm, just happened to be fortunate that way. But every Veterans Day, every Memorial Day, he sends a message to all of his kids and our wives. And it's just like, watch the first 10 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. It puts everything in perspective. My next one is another Mel Gibson movie. Give me The Patriot.
Damn it. That's what I was going to take. Damn it.
You should have snake draft.
I should have snake draft. I was thinking here. I was like, I shouldn't have brought up Mel Gibson. I brought him up. I shouldn't have name dropped him.
I use a line from The Patriot with my son when we're playing baseball. He's gotten big into baseball. I'm trying to get him to throw accurately, and I say to him every time, aim small, miss small.
Aim small.
Look at aim small, miss small. When Mel Gibson's teaching his son how to shoot a musket, aim small, miss small.
I just got so hyped hearing you say that.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a musket, which is to this day the hardest gun to load. What were we thinking? We got better. Man, that's a good choice. I wish I had another Mel Gibson movie ready. Okay, I'll go next. So I think this is a personal favorite. It's a fast paced and there's not really a lot of war in it. I love The Hurt Locker.
Okay.
I love the fact that he's just a crazy adrenaline junkie. And I know everybody that meets him, they're like, you're a wild man. And I always thought that was really funny because he just is a dude that likes disarming bombs. And the tense, that's a movie where finish and you're gripping your seat.
I mean, though it could literally blow up at any time.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I don't like
that's
that.
Why. Listen, we're talking war movies, but I'm going to draft a movie that's in a war room, and that's Draft Day. I'm just kidding.
Damn it.
No, Saving Private Ryan is the ultimate D-Day movie, but my favorite D-Day movie is Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, Hacksaw Ridge is awesome.
Vince Vaughn, Andrew Garfield plays a pacifist that goes to the war just to be a medic, but refuses to shoot a gun because of his faith. And it is just an amazing movie.
Directed by Mel Gibson.
Listen, I guess I'm going to have to take The Passion of the Christ next. I don't know. We're going to fit that in somehow. But, yeah, I forgot that Mel Gibson directed
the Mel Gibson hat trick.
Yeah, the Mel Gibson hat trick. But that is an amazing movie. An absolutely amazing movie.
It was a story I was unfamiliar with too. And when I watched it, it just like hits you, man. Like right in
and it is, and it is based on a true story with the man who Andrew Garfield portrays, clips of him speaking as credits roll. Like it's
yeah.
totally
I
legit story
forgot
of him just single-handedly saving a ton of lives on D-Day without carrying a gun.
Oh man, good stuff. Okay, so so for my last pick, I'm gonna go with Platoon. I got a lot of people in my life
I've seen
joke,
that
and
one. Yeah.
it's Vietnam. It's like the main character is struggling. You've got this. I mean, Vietnam. Shout out anybody that watches the show and is Vietnam vet. Shout out to you because that war sounded crazy. You've got like a guy that's pretty normal and he's going through, and on one side he's got like the hippie leader of the soldiers, and on the other side he's got the mean guy. It's a good movie. It's got Willem Dafoe, and spoiler alert, he dies, and at one point he dies, and he's just like, and that's literally how he dies. His arms are shaking in the air, and he's like, I do want to shout out Wayno because Tropic Thunder is one of the Tropic Thunder and Major Payne are actually all the time. I haven't seen Hot Shots in a while. Major Payne is excellent. It's one of my dad, R.I.P. dad, one of his favorite movies.
It's great. I love Major Payne. Another one that was just off my list is Fury with Shia LaBeouf, awesome. Brad Pitt. Like that's such a good movie where it's just set in a tank. The whole movie is set in a tank. I love that one. Independence Day,
war against the aliens.
Fighting other humans. We're fighting for the survival of this planet, and so
the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but a global holiday.
Yes, great. So Independence Day,
Full Metal Jacket's good too.
Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, he's in Gary Sinise, man, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Shout out all men. I doubt we have. If there's any veterans that watch the show, thank you for your service. Like Uncle Buck said,
absolutely. Yeah.
We appreciate you. We know these movies don't even pale in comparison to what actually y'all do. Yeah, they only scratch the surface. So thank you. That's gonna do it for our show today, y'all. I know I say this every day. We have a blast hanging out with you. I see Wayno. Buck, we had someone new. Thank you. It looks like you have a Buc-ee's logo. I love Buc-ee's. Shout out Buc-ee's.
No, I do not love Buc-ee's.
You don't like Buc-ee's, bro? It's awesome. You can get everything. In
I don't need a gas station where I walk out spending $200.
It's like Target, but better.
Yeah.
It's great. Tune in tonight for the Grizz 901 postgame show. It's going to be late. They're going to need you there, y'all. And today at noon, Anthony Sain's going to have Jacob Gilliard, who was the short king before
shortest Grizzly of all time.
Number 2, but that's going to be at noon today. Make sure you check it out. We will be back tomorrow. Have great days today, y'all. And remember, if I can leave you with anything today, remember just to be a little weird and remember to smile. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.